Hey everyone, Chip Kosei with the Kosei Law Firm here, and today I want to talk to you about Chiari malformations. Now, what this is an area of the brain that can be damaged or misshapen due to either a congenital or birth defect or from trauma. Now, for years and years, it was thought to believe that there were people that were only like maybe 1 in 1,000 or 10,000 that had this, and it was always some sort of a birth defect. But new imaging studies, particularly MRIs of the brain and diffusion tensor imaging studies, have shown that this can be caused from trauma, and it occurs about 23% of the time. So what is a Chiari malformation? A Chiari malformation is a part of the brain right behind the brainstem that, when subjected to trauma, causes it to slip down in the skull. Now, why is this important? Because your brain is both bathed and protected by cerebral spinal fluid. It's a mixture. But when a Chiari malformation occurs, it separates those functions into cerebral fluid and spinal fluid, and they cease to mix, and that gives the body and the brain additional problems. Now, there is a way to determine whether it is a congenital or a birth defect versus one from trauma. If the area of that malformation has come down and it's conical shaped, then it is a birth defect. However, if it's rounded at the bottom, that would be due to trauma. Fortunately, there are neurosurgeons that can fix this, and it involves a fairly simple process, and I don't want to demean it because the fairly simple process involves drilling into the skull. But what can happen is some very small holes can be drilled in the skull by the neurosurgeon, thereby releasing that impingement on the canal where the fluids mix, thereby recreating the cerebral spinal fluid as one mixed substance versus two. So if you have a loved one, or if you yourself has sustained a trauma, it would be very wise to get the appropriate brain imaging to determine whether or not you have a Chiari malformation. Now, most of the time, the best way to tell is to get a cervical or a lower neck MRI, because the base of the skull is encompassed within that imaging study. So if you get that and determine that there is a Chiari malformation, I would strongly suggest that you then get a referral to a qualified neurosurgeon that can ameliorate that condition. I hope this video has helped you today, and we'll talk again soon. Thanks a lot.